Welcome to the Kurz Team Real Estate Show, where we will be discussing the ups and downs of real estate, evaluating the state of the market, and exposing what's hot and what's not, as we interview some of the most successful and dynamic individuals in our area. So sit back and relax while we bring a fresh perspective on the world of real estate in South Florida. You can find the Kurz Team online at www.thekurzteam.com or call us at 786-529-5273. Now, here's your host, David Kurz.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Kurz Team Real Estate Radio Show. Thanks again for tuning in. I know right now, as always, you're either at work just packing your crap up and trying to get the heck out of there, or you're sitting in our beautiful traffic and our beautiful weather here in Miami, Florida. This particular show is pre-recorded, so right now we're sitting down kind of waiting for Hurricane, what's her name? Erica to show up? Yeah, so hopefully Erica takes a turn, decides she wants to go out to the ocean, dissipates and disappears. But in the meantime, I hope everybody got to the stores early, got your water, got your canned goods, got your flashlights and your batteries and battery-operated radios and your normal hurricane kit. With me, as always, Jennifer. How you doing, Jen?
Hi, good, thanks.
And Alex, what's up, brother?
What's up? Thanks
for always joining us. Again, our website is www.thekurzteam.com. That is TheKurzteam.com. You can get on our website. You can learn a lot about us, from our charities to our TV show to our radio show to magazine to simply searching for a property, which would be fantastic. Our phone number at the office is 786-529-5273. Again, that's 786-529-5273. If you're listening right now and it's live on the radio and you want to see what we look like, go to our website, thekurzteam.com, click on radio show, scroll to the bottom, say watch live now, and you'll get a beautiful shot of the three of us sitting here in the studio, just recording away. Also, don't forget to tune into Miami in Style. Miami in Style is our TV show. It's not our TV show, but I am the real estate host for the TV show, so we do a real estate segment. Last one we did was on investment properties in Miami. Next one we're doing is on
New construction.
New construction. So we've got some new construction lined up, like the World Trade Center. I'm sorry, the Miami World Center,
Brickell City Center.
We got we're not interviewing Brickell City Center. I don't think.
No,
we're doing the Miami World Center with the Paramount building.
Oh yeah, Paramount.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then we're gonna do Park Grove in Coconut Grove,
correct,
which would be awesome. Which is a Douglas Elliman.
Premier property.
Absolutely. And if you don't know who we are the Kurz Team. My name is David Kurz. I run this team, and we are a part of the wonderful, wonderful company, Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Douglas Elliman Real Estate is based out of New York for the most part.
Started in 1911.
Started in 1911. Probably controls like 40% of the market in New York, which is amazing for any real estate company.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're continuously growing in all the right spots. So obviously it came down to South Florida a few years ago. They really settled their feet in, and now they're more concrete than anything. And I think that Douglas Elliman is really making a name for itself in South Florida.
Takeover.
It's taking over, man. It's a takeover, right?
Especially for a private company.
That's right. It is a private company. So you know out there, Douglas Elliman is the fourth largest real estate company in the nation. And it is a privately owned company, which is awesome because that kind of, to me, that says any office you go into, you're going to get the same respect, the same service, the same, effect.
It has that boutique kind of love and care that you get, yet with the same resources, if not greater, than all the rest of the companies.
I think
that are
greater
out there.
resources than you could ever imagine. And the reason I say that is because we have a strong tie into new construction. We have a strong tie into the sports and entertainment industry.
Yeah.
We have a strong tie into luxury properties. And then we have a strong connection to major cities like New York, South Florida, Los Angeles, Aspen. These are major areas. Like if you're selling your house in South Florida, one or three people are going to buy your house. Local, South American, or Northeastern, right? And so the fact that we have those amazing connections gives your property so much exposure, right?
And overseas with our alliance with Knight
we
Frank.
have an alliance with Knight Frank. We have an alliance with Zillow, like no other real estate company in the world does. So, at the end of the day, if you list your property with the Kurz Team, you get all of that plus this. So if you're listening to us on the radio, guess what? Your property is going to be on the radio. And that's something that we really enjoy discussing and really enjoy talking about, because, there's a lot of realtors out there, and the real question is, what are they doing for you? How do they expose your property, right? Every realtor has similar resources. The real question is, how does the realtor utilize those resources?
What are you doing different?
What are you doing different to really sell a property? When a realtor announces, like, we recently got a property under contract in 9 days, right? And we killed it. Another property in 7 days. Another property in 24 hours. When a realtor says that, I think the first question out of a seller's mouth should be, how did you do that? Yeah. Like, what resources do you use to do that? Okay, because my neighbor's property has been on the market for a month and a half, and they're getting no action. Well, 36,000 agents in Miami-Dade County. It's your job to choose the one that's going to properly serve you. And I always tell people, you don't have to like me, even though I am a very likable person. You don't have to like me, but you do have to respect how we sell and how we treat our clients and how we market our properties. And I think that that's the big thing. A lot of people sit down at a table with a realtor and they listen to them and they go, I really like Jose. Jose's awesome, And that's great that you like him. Invite him over for dinner. Take him out for a drink. That's amazing. You should really base it on their work ethic, their work history, and how they intend to sell your property. Remember, this is the biggest deal of your life for most people. Okay, unless you're a multi-billionaire doing billion-dollar deals all the time and your house was just a multi-million-dollar house. For most people, for the average adult or human being out there, the average person, the purchase of a home or the sale of a home is usually one of the biggest transactions that they'll ever do.
Yeah.
I
think it is the largest.
It is.
It doesn't compare to anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you drive a $200,000 car, chances are you have a multi-million-dollar home, right?
If you don't, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, if you don't, you're doing something wrong. If
you're renting it.
Yeah, if your car is worth more than your house, we need to talk. Yeah. Okay, we need to talk. I got friends in the auto industry. We can sell that car for you and put you in a right home, something that's going to bring you value, my friends, value. So experiences this week. We always like to touch on some experiences that we have. I have to give a shout out to Derek Furtick. And the reason I'm going to give a shout out to Derek is because we have created somewhat of an alliance with him, and he's been taking care of our buyers as a mortgage broker, as our mortgage lender. Derek, thank you for being fantastic. Thank you for working with our clients. Thank you for your service in the Marine Corps. And thank you for your customer service, all right? We have referred some clients over to Derek, and let me tell you something. Everybody's happy, right?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way, And so one of the biggest experiences and fears that I have when someone comes to me as a buyer and says, I'm using a big bank. I don't want to say any names. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But let's say I'm using a big bank, like the...
There's a bunch you guys could think of. I mean, the ones on your, you see with 3 every time you're driving down the road. It's 3 of the same bank.
The one that your debit card belongs to, okay? Because most big banks have debit cards, right? Yeah. So, dude, you tell me, what's the number one probably you think of, Jen, when you think of a buyer coming with a big bank pre-approval?
Oh, I just think about, oh my gosh, this is going to require like 10 extensions because they never get to the file as fast as you need them to.
What about you, Alex?
It's just because you're another number, I feel like. Somewhere along the lines, there's someone at a desk pushing papers, and you're just a file, you're just a number. Whereas to Derek, I'm Alex, and me and him have that relationship together, and you're John Doe, and he knows you, and he knows your file, he knows your background, knows your history, he knows what you're looking for.
By the way, what time does a big bank close on a normal day?
I'd say around 6.
Around 6? 6 is late,
5
right?
o'clock.
5 to 6 o'clock?
HSBC is 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. All right,
is that one of the big banks?
They close at 4. I'm not sure if they're big or not. They close at 4. I belong to them. That's what I'm saying. They close at 4. I know.
Well, let me tell you something. If Derek has a problem with a file, it calls me at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That goes a long way, guys. That goes a huge way, Yeah. And
the appraisal.
And so that's kind of where I wanted to go. The appraisal, right? So my biggest fear when somebody comes with a big bank and they're buying a house, let's say we had a recent transaction with Diana, who's also on our team. And Diana is helping a buyer purchase a home in El Portal. In El Portal, there is a small section of El Portal
We were talking
called...
about this in the last show.
Yeah, Sherwood Forest.
Yeah, yeah,
And so Sherwood Forest is 2 blocks.
yeah.
If you go 1 block north, you're in a higher end neighborhood. If you go 1 block south, you're in a lower end neighborhood, right? And it's just kind of a tricky 2 blocks. And if you drive through there, you're like, holy crap, where did this come from? But you wouldn't even know it's there unless you belonged on those 2 blocks for whatever purpose. And so we were terrified with the appraisal, even though it was Derek doing the deal.
Well, if they heard the last show, we were kind of like, oh my gosh, pray, like, please, we don't even know where we're going to be.
Well, appraisal came in great, by the way. And the reasoning behind that is because Derek's a local company. Derek is a mortgage banker, and so he uses local appraisers.
Yeah.
Where I've had situations when somebody uses a big bank, appraiser comes from, say, West Palm Beach. Nothing wrong with appraisers in West Palm Beach. You guys are awesome. But you don't belong doing appraisals in Miami. You don't know the area, you know? And it's like me. Somebody says to me, David, hey, I want to sell my house. It's in Daytona. Can I sell a house in Daytona? Yes, I can. I'm licensed in the state of Florida. Should I be selling a house in Daytona?
No, don't even try.
No, I shouldn't. I should be referring that business out. You know, because I have no business being up there. I don't know what that community's like. I know they got a good school over there. You know,
they have
they got a racetrack, right?
Bike week.
Bike week. Yes, where are my bikers at out there? Ladies and gentlemen, if they're, now that we're on this topic right now, if you're listening to this show and there's a topic that you want to listen to and there's a topic that you want to know more about and you want us to bring up or you want us to pull a guest on the show that might specialize in that specific topic, get on Twitter right now, hashtag Kurz Team Radio. That's Kurz Team Radio. Hashtag Kurz Team Radio, and ask us what you want. Look us up on Twitter. If you go to our website, themiamihomesearch.com, thekurzteam.com, that's our other website that we don't talk about.
You can go in there too.
Yeah, you can go there too.
Thekurzteam.com.
If you go to thekurzteam.com, on the upper left-hand corner, I believe, there are all our social media links. Click on our Twitter link and ask us a question directly, okay? Whatever you want to know, we will either answer right away or do the research, find out for you, ask the right people, and get you a good answer. All right, so that's a hashtag Kurz Team Radio. We're going to start using that more often. We want you guys out there listening to us and asking us and not tuning out because we're not talking about what you want to hear. We want you to
engage with us. We want to know what you need.
Absolutely.
We need to know.
So our appraisals are coming in great because we're using local folks. Thank you to our local appraisers for getting the job done properly and not messing up a buyer's dream. Okay, there's a lot of realtors say, "Oh, they're messing up my deal." Forget that, man. How does a buyer feel? You know what I mean? Like a buyer sitting there giving all this paperwork in. Yeah, they fall in love with this house, like, and listen,
the last day of their lease,
last
days of their lease, about to move out,
they're ready to move,
packed.
and then it's all screwed up. And like for me, I'm a car guy. I love cars, right? So for me, that's kind of like going to a car place, falling in love with a car, sitting down for 6 hours, trying to get the deal done. It doesn't happen. That's happened to me before. It doesn't happen. It's happened. It's a little sore of a subject, all right? But I can't even imagine. Like, I mean, I guess I could, but I can't imagine how I know how I feel. I can't imagine how a buyer feels when I call them and I say, "Man, the appraisal didn't come in at value." And now we have to figure something out, either walk away from the deal because they can't make up the remainder of the funds, or are we negotiating the contract? If it's a couple $1,000s, a few $1,000s, maybe it's worth negotiating, or maybe $10,000 on a big multi-million-dollar deal, that's worth negotiating. But when it's like 50, 60, 40, grand off, and the house was $350,000, that's a huge difference for somebody at that price point, So it all goes back to working with realtors who have a good team behind them who get the job done. My name is David Kurz, and I'm the sales director for the Kurz team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Our team specializes in South Florida real estate, focusing on buyers and sellers alike. You can visit us at either one of our 2 sites, themiamihomesearch.com or thekurzteam.com, or call us at 786-529-5273.
No matter your price point, there's a specialist on our team that knows how to properly help you sell your home or find the home of your dreams. My team and I work hard to ensure our clients are happy. And because of this, we've become one of South Florida's best-known real estate teams. You can visit us today at thecurzteam.com or themiamihomesearch.com or call us at 786-529-5273 and set an appointment. Let us come out and see you.
All right, welcome back to the Kurz Team Real Estate Radio Show. Thanks again for joining us. Visit our website, thecurzteam.com. That's TheKurz team.com, TEAM. You can also call our office at 786-529-5273 and ask us anything you need. If you're looking to buy a house or sell a house, we're here to help you out. We have an entire team of support. So this is not one agent getting on your listing and helping you out. This is multiple agents with attorneys, with title companies, with mortgage companies. Everybody's got your back here. And that's it. We get the job done. So we want to talk a little bit about some of the listings we have. First one is 1239 Mariposa Avenue, unit number 1. Nice little investment condo. You've seen it, Alex.
Yep, beautiful.
Beautiful little spot in Coral Gables. And that one's listed at $245. Which is fair. It's $245,000, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, right?
For the length, I think, of the investment that it's going to hold, since
Of
being
course.
so close to Miami. I mean, it's perfect.
It's a lower end building, but the truth is that it's like down the street from University of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you can rent that out to UM students
Over
is
and over
out
and
of,
over
out of
again.
control. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Easy.
You know? 7601 East Treasure Drive, penthouse unit 123. Easy to remember, PH 123. 7601 East Treasure Drive is a building in North Bay Village. This one has beautiful views. We just lowered the price to $298,127. So this particular seller is a buddy of mine. He's an investor, and we've been. Let me misrepresent that. I said he's a buddy of mine. We've become friends over the 3-year period that I've been helping him purchase and sale homes in South Florida. And this is one of his units, and he has this cool habit that he likes to end the price of the home with like a funky number, like 127, you know. And I ride with him because it always brings us luck. So so sometimes I feel like doing it all the time, but I don't want to plagiarize Mr. Diaz on that, you know. Speaking of him, we are working together currently right now. He did purchase 2 lots in Palmetto Bay. And he's going to be building spec homes on each of those lots. 5,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
18,000 square foot.
18,000 square foot lot.
Yeah.
I mean, just I was looking at the CAD files for this homes. They're beautiful. 1-story homes, super high ceilings, 2-car garage, maid's quarters. I mean, media room, the whole nine. Pool, the whole nine. Beautiful homes. And we're looking at listing those homes somewhere around between the 1.2 to 1.4 range, 1.2 million, 1.4 million range. And I think that those homes are going to get it.
Yeah.
They're going to get it, you know. As soon as he's ready to, you know, all permits are in and they're ready to break ground on that, you know, I suggested to him that we start marketing right away as a pre-construction home.
Yeah.
You know, as people are, you know, they want that brand new home, you know, and that's a subject that we're going to bring up next week, you know, new home versus old home.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people want that like brand new home, never lived in. You get to put your own energies into the home, you know.
In this case, you get to have it in Palmetto Bay, which a lot of the homes in there are maybe a little bit older, but that's what, you know, people like that, but it's in an amazing neighborhood.
I'm starting to see more and more older homes get torn down and newer homes built up.
Yeah.
You know, like we have this listing that's 8440 Southwest 182nd Terrace. That's in Palmetto Bay. That one's listed at $850,000, and the home across the street from that one looks like a French chateau. I mean, it's out of control. Like you drive down the street, all of a sudden you're in France. You know,
Yeah.
And when I say French chateau, I don't mean the little one that you see in France. I'm talking about the huge one, countryside. You know. And so you're starting to see that more and more often, and I'm proud of him. I'm glad that he's getting this done. You know, he's got a tremendous rental portfolio, and now he's starting to do a lot of new development. He does it in Long Island. He does it in Georgia. So he's a machine, and I'm just proud to be working with him. So I'm looking forward to getting those properties on the market soon. I will keep everybody on the radio waves in tune to when that happens, because we'll probably be having I guess we can call it like a little launch party for them.
Yeah.
And we'll do it somewhere in Palmetto Bay in a local business. If you know me, you know I'm big about local business and small business. So we'll try to support one of them by bringing our party to them. Another great property is 10 Venetian Way, Unit 1903. This is at the Grand Venetian in Miami Beach, listed at 1.1. We did receive a contract on that today. I did review it today, and the seller may be signing it later on today. So that would be fantastic, right? But that's what we're looking at. 7441 Southwest 66th Street, $1.499 million in South Miami. Beautiful house on an acre lot. Currently under contract, but we are looking at taking backup offers on this property because it does have, its inspection period and appraisal period and everything else. Appraisal came in great, so we're working on that, and that'll be fantastic to get out the door as well. If you want to know more about our listings or more about homes in South Florida, visit thecurzteam.com. If you have particular interest in one of our listings, Twitter us or tweet us, right?
Tweet.
Yeah.
Tweet us, right? And use the hashtag CurzTeamRadio. And so we can look up that hashtag and look for everybody that's talking to us so that we can answer as many questions as possible. Marketing. So I wanted to touch a little bit about real estate marketing, right? We talk about it all the time. We talk about it a little bit earlier right now. And we see that, and essentially we're going to bring in a marketing expert. And maybe not the next show, but the show after, we might bring this individual in who we've been doing our marketing with for almost a decade, Joelle. And so I intend to bring Joelle in because I think that over the last 10 years that we've been working together, Joelle has learned so much about real estate marketing that he has an abundant clientele of realtors.
Yeah.
And you guys all know Joelle. Everybody loves Joelle. Joelle's awesome, and the one thing that I love about Joelle is his graphic design. Like Joelle is, you can tell him, paint the picture and he'll get it right.
Yeah.
And
he's
so
really good. A lot of people get really, he's the one who does our magazines, and a lot of people look at our magazine and they're like, oh my gosh, who did this?
Yes. A lot of people look at our magazine and they're immediately like, who did this? You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And so if you want to know what he looks like and you want to, the last page of our magazine is all about Joelle. That is his bonus for helping us tremendously with launching a magazine, is that he will forever hold the inside back cover of that magazine. And I'm proud to do that with him. But marketing is so important, and I see so many realtors out there take a home. There's so many different ways of iPhone pictures. Oh my God! So the other day,
When you have them in the bathroom, and it's like the person's like,
And
it
you see
almost
'em.
looks like a selfie.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. Yeah. It's the worst.
And let me tell you something. Not that the iPhone takes bad pictures. On the contrary, what we're saying is that you should probably get a photographer in there to take real photogenic pictures of this property, right? And so the other day I was on Facebook and I saw a realtor buddy of mine post some pictures that he found where the bedroom photo was upside down.
Oh my God.
The bathroom photo was sideways. And I'm thinking to myself, that has to be a flip camera, like a flip phone. Like, whose phone does that right now? Like, if you have a pretty decent Droid, or you have a decent iPhone, like, that just doesn't happen.
It'll
like,
automatically
it's
set
got
it
to
up
be a
for you
flip
the
phone,
way-
right?
yeah.
Or how about when you pull up the pictures and they're like an inch big? You
Oh my
can't
gosh,
see
It's
it.
like a
so
thumbnail,
small.
a thumbnail on the camera,
Yes.
and you're trying to like.
You're hovering over the computer trying to see what the image looks like.
And look,
or the
and-
ones that are so personal that they have, I've seen, I can't say who it is. I don't think I remember the name, but there's a lady that always has a picture of her dog. It's all, in all of her listings, there's a picture of her dog.
Hey, man, that's her gimmick, That's her gimmick. I thought about putting myself in the picture of every listing.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I would say, oh, look, it's a David deal. I'm in, And that's the worst of the worst. That's just photography, right?
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of realtors out there that, I don't know how they get the listing. You know, there's so many different ways of pitching yourself to sellers. You know, and sometimes it's a family friend or it's somebody referred you or whatever the case is, and they take photos and they put them on the MLS, and then they attach it to the MLS, and then that's it. Like, that's it. Like, they just wait. They don't do open houses. They don't, and even though I got to be honest with you, open houses are not even the most effective way to sell a home. You know, if you can research that on the internet all day long, but most homes do not sell at an open house. They just don't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't normally have a ton of open houses. Sometimes we will. It depends on the location of the property. We had one property where we did an open house because it was very close to St. Thomas Church in South Miami. And so having an open house on a Sunday there was getting that entire crowd leaving church, 3 different masses, huge masses, you know. And if they were in the market for a home, they might want to pass by.
Yeah.
But the one open houses that we do like to have are brokers opens, because you want other brokers to come into the property and view it. Yeah. You want to present it to other brokers. But these folks just put it on the market. They put it on the MLS, and they just kind of hope that one of us sees it and says, "Oh, great! Look at this! You know, let's surpass the pictures. Might be a good deal." You know, and you have to keep in mind, man, that there's buyers out there looking at this too. You know, so how do you really push it out?
And
there?
it's a bad reflection of us. I can't tell you how many times I've sent a listing to a buyer, and the buyer looks at the pictures and says, "I don't like these pictures. Can you send me better pictures?" I'm like, I can reach out to the agent, but these are the pictures that were, taken by the agent. That's all we have at this moment, So that's the home.
It does, and it's difficult for us, and I mean, you're sitting down in a consultation with a buyer, you're flipping through the MLS.
I was just going to say that it's the worst during a consultation. I mean, I was going through it last week with a client, and we were looking at about 4 houses in the area he wanted to be in, and the pictures were either thumbnails or 2 of them. It was just a shot that looks like it was taken from 200 yards away in the street of the outside.
And
no, like you can't even. What
the
you
Google
can't,
Map.
How about the Google Map photo? How about from the car photo?
Oh yeah.
That I've seen. I can't tell you how many times, and you can tell because you see the cutout of the window of the passenger side because they're taking it from the driver's side. They didn't even turn the car around and hang their phone out the car. Like they did it from the driver's side through the passenger window at the front of the house, and then that's your only photo of the house.
A lot of people wouldn't even know if you're a seller and you're selling a house. You're not going on MLS, necessarily. Some maybe do, but I would say a large portion of people don't. You don't even know that your house is just, one picture outside or something. It's definitely a question to ask your realtor, if anybody who out there who has a house on the market, to ask what kind of photography is being done, because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I like Alex just said, man. If you're a seller, you need to be really interviewing agents. You know, when you sit with me and you say, "Hey, David, what are you going to do to sell my house?" I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that your home will probably make it to the radio. I'm going to tell you that your home will maybe make it to our TV show. I'm going to tell you that if I don't sell your home super quickly, it might make it to our magazine. I'm going to tell you that. That we do put it on the MLS. I'm going to tell you that we do professional photography.
Professional photography, the way it's supposed to be done.
Yes, I do. I will tell you that we will do professional flyers with Joel, our marketing guy, and really get stuff done right. I will tell you we'll do a mail out with Joel, again, who offers all those services, who has grown to be loved by so many realtors because he gets the job done right.
Yeah.
And him and I have learned together over the years, and really, what works, what doesn't work. We used to do all these like flyers that were super cluttered and send them out 10,000 people and no one would call. And I would go, why is nobody calling me? And then you realize like the less information you put on a flyer, the less cluttered it looks.
Yeah.
The more inclined somebody is to read it, a nice clean look, you know?
And with pictures, I know we're talking a lot about pictures, they're really important. You may think, oh my gosh, our job is only to take a picture and post it on the thing, and it's not. And as David says, we do other things, but pictures really, really sell a home. So it's important that as a seller, that what type of photography is being done for your home. If you really want to sell your home the right way, if you wanted to have that exposure, if you want more value for your home, I've had homes that are taken that are possibly look terrible. I'm not saying please keep your home terrible. The photographer is going to make it look great, but I've seen a home that doesn't look all that fancy, and then with the photography, it totally changes everything, but definitely brings more exposure to the home, and gets it sold.
And listen, and if you're a seller, right? I'm sure you believe that your house is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And some houses are better than others. We can all admit to that, right?
Yeah.
And so, if you don't have the best looking house, it's important to have an amazing photographer.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're trying to misrepresent the home. We're trying to get people to the home.
Yeah.
An amazing photographer, and try and clean it up a little bit.
Yes.
You don't want to have a
Clean
picture
home.
of the bedroom with
clothes all over the
900
bed.
things and shelves blocking everything, and there's clothes everywhere and clutter, and you can't even see the layout of the room.
Well, if
That's
you
the
meet with
picture that
us,
you
we're going to be
get.
walking you
Yeah.
around the house telling you what to change for photography. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
We're going to break
Absolutely.
for a commercial, and when we get back, we're going to have Gabriel Bodner, who is a longtime partner of mine for a very long time with Miami Title Group and Nautilus Legal Services, located in downtown Miami. And Gabriel Bodner is going to help us talk about the differences between being a for sale by owner and using an agent with a team behind them. Well, we'll talk to you in a few.
My name is David Kurz, and I'm the sales director for the Kurz team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. Our team specializes in South Florida real estate, focusing on buyers and sellers alike. You can visit us at either one of our two sites, themiamihomesearch.com or thecurzteam.com, or call us at 786-529-5273. No matter your price point, there's a specialist on our team that knows how to properly help you sell your home or find the home of your dreams. My team and I work hard to ensure our clients are happy, and because of this, we've become one of South Florida's best-known real estate teams. You can visit us today at thecurzteam.com or themiamihomesearch.com, or call us at 786-529-5273 and set an appointment. Let us come out and see you.
All right, welcome back to the Kurz Team Real Estate Radio Show. Thanks again for joining us. You can visit our website at thecurzteam.com, or you can call us at 786-529-5273. Again, that's 786-529-5273. If you forget that phone number, always go back to our website. You can find all information about us, or just do a Google search for the Kurz Team or David Kurz. I'm sure you'll get a lot of information about us. So as we left in the last segment, we said we would be introducing Gabriel Bodner, who's an outstanding friend, fantastic attorney and owner of Miami Title Group, along with Nautilus Legal Services in downtown Miami. And we wanted to bring him on the show because we're going to be talking a little bit about the differences between selling a home on your own as a for sale by owner and hiring a real estate agent. Gabe, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks so much for having me on the show, David.
Thanks for coming in. Or not coming in, but coming on the phone with us. I wanted to bring you on because as an attorney, I'm sure that you've dealt with a lot of arguments between buyers and sellers.
Unfortunately, more than I can count. Buyers and sellers are always getting into squabbles between minor things, major issues. It happens very often in a transaction. It's stressful for both parties, and therefore it's commonplace.
And so, would you venture to say that you have a better chance of having some type of problem or arbitration when you're selling your home on your own?
I think that selling your home on your own can be very challenging. Obviously, you have to take into consideration that you may not be getting the best price, that using a professional, not all realtors are created equal, but using a professional like yourself, somebody who has been in the business, understands the challenges, and understands, the intricacies of working with buyers and sellers, they're going to be set up best for making sure you have a smooth transaction. And I think that what happens often when you're selling on your own is, it's a completely foreign process to you. You probably haven't bought or sold a property, in years, if not decades. And, going in on your own can be a big challenge. And you're setting yourself up for some real problems if you don't do it right.
Yeah. I would almost compare it to a buyer trying to buy a home on their own and trying to fill out a contract. There's just terms and things that we handle that we are trained to handle the proper way, whereas they have no clue. They're gonna Google it, and
you know where I'm
know.
going with that Google story, right? You know where I'm going. So, Gabe, I don't know if I ever told you this, but one time there was a for sale by owner who was I didn't know at the time that he was a doctor, and we go to pitch him and talk to him about selling, allowing us the opportunity to sell his house, and he was really adamant about selling his own property. He just kept saying, no, in the area that I'm in, I'm sure that I can sell it on my own, which I didn't understand because it was a secured, gated community. And what you say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But he kept being adamant about selling the home on his own. So as he's walking us to our car, we're getting ready to leave, and I'm rotating my shoulder a little bit, like it was hurting me, And he says, oh, you have a shoulder problem? I said, yeah, well, when I was in the Marine Corps, I hurt my shoulder. I hit the water pretty hard, and it's never been the same. He says, oh, I'm a doctor. You should come see me. I specialize in stem cell transplant therapy. We can take stem cells from another part of your body, put them in your shoulder, repair your shoulder. And I looked at him. I said, no, you know what? I think I'm going to Google it, do it myself. And so and he looked at me and he laughed and he was like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. And a lot of people don't realize this. There are so many tasks involved in selling a home. There's so many tasks: evaluating the market, comparing the home's value, suggesting appropriate listing price, which I think statistically, most people who will sell on their own, and I don't know, Gabe, you can tell me this because you probably do closings for people who try to sell on their own, will probably normally sell for a lot less than market value.
And I'm aware of that. That's one of the things that always concerns me when somebody calls me up because they've been referred by a friend or somebody who's used my services, and they let me know that they're thinking about selling the home on their own. I ask them to really think about what they're doing, because it's my understanding and it's my personal experience that people that sell homes on their own tend to get less value, tend to get less money for their home. And so, and I think that it's also a frustrating process. They don't have somebody to kind of, one, just to do the general marketing for the home. And then secondarily, I don't think that they have somebody to guide them through, the little things that come up. Now, obviously, I could help them along the way with the contract and explaining the contract, but a realtor doesn't, a realtor's job isn't to help the person. I mean, they do work with the contract, but it isn't to help them with the legal aspects of the transaction. That's for a lawyer to do. But it is to help them with all those other things that happen in a transaction. The little things like, the realtor's on the ground seeing if everything is right with the property. They're able to recommend inspectors. They're able to do things that a lawyer, having never been to the property, really can't assist them with.
You're right.
I think a realtor plays a really valuable role in the whole transaction. But to me, again, it's all about having the right realtor. So, there's plenty of good people, and unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just, they're not prepared to do the job yet.
They're not prepared to do the job. You're right. And so, I mean, it goes on to more and more tasks that are involved in selling a home: advertising the property properly, providing proper referrals for people like yourself, or painters even, or repair folks to get the house ready, helping coordinate and presentations for disclosures and needed forms and documents, creating advertising material, arranging for a photographer, interior and exterior, and hopefully done by a professional, because moments ago we were talking about the camera phone photo or the flip phone photo,
acting as a go-between between the buyer and the seller, because frankly, I think a lot of people fear that, if the seller has an attorney and the buyer has an attorney, there's going to be a lot of battling back between the two attorneys, and things aren't going to be as smooth as if the transaction is handled between two like-minded realtors. who aren't there, really to perform the same sort of tasks as the two attorneys are.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all advocates. Both attorney and realtor is an advocate for their client, and I think we're aligned in that way. But I know that there are certainly times when I've leaned on you, David, to speak with the other side, whether it was a buyer or a seller. But, we were representing the buyer, for example. You were the one interacting with the seller's agent or with the seller directly to see that we can get the issues that we had resolved.
Yeah.
I think there's, just like there's good realtors and bad realtors, there's good attorneys and bad attorneys.
Yep.
And so there are times where I'm up against an attorney that's being very difficult or maybe is inexperienced or whatever it may be that just creates more of a challenge. And it's great to have one more advocate on your side. When you're talking about one of the biggest transactions you'll have in your life, the more professionals you can have involved in the transaction, the better. Because, if buying or selling a home represents the majority of your wealth, I don't think you should leave that to chance.
You're right.
See, I think there's a big difference in the role that you guys play as an attorney when you're representing a transaction versus the role that we play as real estate agents. We've sat down with you. We know what your needs are. We know what you're looking for. We know what the market is like. We know what you can get or cannot get, what's reasonable, what's not reasonable. We take away that emotional aspect and the bigger lack of emotion on the end of the attorney, because the attorney will look at the transaction, will look at the wording and see that everything sounds right, but at the same time, the attorney hasn't been in the property, doesn't know what's going on with the property, doesn't know the situation behind the seller or the buyer, for that matter. It's very, very different. Hiring a real estate agent, it's kind of a buffer through the whole thing. We manage the whole transaction.
Yeah, I mean, I ask people all the time, are you, if you were convicted of a crime, are you willing to defend yourself in the court of law? If you cut yourself accidentally, and it's a pretty deep cut and you're bleeding pretty badly, are you willing to try and take care of that at home?
Yeah.
Or would you go to the emergency room?
Yeah.
It all boils down to understanding that a real estate professional is exactly that, a professional.
Yeah.
This is what they do every single day. So if your job is not real estate, please understand that there's a lot that goes into this. You don't just put a sign in front of the house that says for sale and allow just any looky-loo to come into your house, which is another one of the benefits of having a real estate agent, that they're going to pre-screen buyers before they walk into your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many horror stories out there.
And you don't have to worry about anything, to be honest. I mean, we will do the showings for you. You
Yes.
continue to work. We can do so many things for you that really save you time and stress.
And when you really go to a professional, you have an outreach that an average civilian, even if you have a wonderful job and your house is multi-million dollars and you have a great network of people, a real estate agent like ourselves have access, which we went through before, through Douglas Elliman, through Knight Frank, to people, to all sorts of marketing, magazine, radio, television, Brokers Opens, and a network of all other professionals like-minded who have buyers that are interested in exactly what your product is.
And to touch on what you're saying, when a buyer goes to a FSBO, a for sale by owner, when a buyer goes to a for sale by owner, they automatically assume that they can get a better price on it because that seller is not paying a commission. And it's the complete opposite when a buyer comes and there's a realtor involved, because now they know that they have to negotiate a contract through a realtor.
Yeah.
And that makes a world of a difference. And a realtor that's on the ground preparing contracts and disclosures and everything else, who has the support of you, Gabe, and an attorney, you couldn't be in better hands.
Yeah.
You couldn't be in better hands. And look, we talked about it before. Look, I'm going to go through this list real quick so that people understand what goes into selling a home. Evaluating the market, comparable pricing, appropriately listing the home at the appropriate price, right? Advising how to best present your home, helping coordinate presentation of the home, creating advertising material, placing it in the multiple listing service, which is our MLS, properly, with the right wording and the right attraction
Yeah.
and the right photography, right?
Great views and great this and great that doesn't
do anything, you know. Arranging for individual visits to the property. This is pre-screening buyers or discussing it with agents who are representing a buyer and properly bringing them in for individual visits, not just some crazy guy knocking on our door saying, "Hey man, your house for sale, can I check it out?
Can I come into your house?
Can I come into your house and see what valuables you have in there?" Answering questions and providing documentations as required, holding one or more open houses, whether they're brokers opens or regular opens. And I mentioned before, I prefer the brokers open over the regular open. Receiving offers from the house and pre-screening them, and looking over them and explaining them to you as the seller. Helping you evaluate the strength of each offer and strategize on how to negotiate it. Negotiate with the buyer's agent. Coordinate with the buyer's agent throughout the escrow period. Making sure that we meet all the deadlines. And Gabe, this is something that you and I do together. We follow the deadlines. We follow the contract. We make sure escrow's in connect and everything's done. Helping you strategize if they come for any reductions in price during the inspection period because of inspection issues. And then attending the closing. Thankfully, we do our closings with great people like Gabriel Bodner, and we have almost little to worry about by the time we're at the closing table, and I like to say that with Gabe, when you get to the closing table, there's nothing to worry about. You're done.
Yeah.
And his office is very good about explaining everything that's on the package to the buyer or the seller so that it's very well understood. And so people say, so right now, Gabe, people out there thinking, yeah, man, but you guys charge 6%. Well, I mean, personally, I think that's a small fee for the amount of work that goes into selling a home.
You guys have no idea.
And that percent also goes into a piece of our marketing and all the things that we do, all the costs on our end, photography and things like that. Some agents may ask for less, but their job is not going to be
as
equally
extensive,
as good and extensive in work.
Gabe, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that I completely agree with what you just said, David, that, the 6% commission, 3% generally going to the buyer's agent and 3% going to the seller's agent. So it's not like one agent receives 6%. It's divided, but it is, in the bigger scheme of things, considering that, when you have a great professional, and I've worked with David for many years, I know him, and he's always done a great job for clients. And one of the things that I've seen, David, is it's well worth it because you sell your home at a better price, and you've got somebody in your corner. And the biggest thing, I think, beyond just, the price that you get, like you kind of went through, is all the services that you provide for these clients that you work with. But in addition, I'd always like to remind people that, want to go into selling their home on their own, that this is a very time-consuming process.
It's a full-time job, and it includes nights and weekends.
But beyond that, we're all busy people. And if I were going to try and sell a home by myself and somebody called me up, I would push them back. I would, try and make it convenient for me. And I can tell you right now, I would probably lose some of the best offers. So, in terms of getting the offer in, if that's important to you, the timing of the offer, getting it as soon as possible rather than dissuading people who are in the market that just say, oh, well, this one's too difficult to go see, so forget that. I'm going to go look at another house listed with a realtor that's available to see at my convenience. That's one problem. And then the second one is, I think that, you're just going to miss the best price, and you're just going to miss the opportunity to work with somebody who can work through these issues if something comes back in an inspection, or who has the experience to kind of get you through the process without the major headaches. If you value your time and you value,
your home,
or avoiding the frustration of the process, I think that 6% is a very fair fee to pay.
And then I'll ask you, Gabe, if you were selling your home, would you rather pay 6% or 12%?
You know what, David? I mean, obviously, from my opinion, I don't really care what the commission is if I were getting my money. I knew
And
at the end of
the
day,
reason that I ask you this is because
the logical answer is
6.
you want to pay as little as possible, of
Yeah.
6%, and that is a standard fee. So
Okay,
I would say
so
6% is fine.
yeah,
You
and
know
the
what if
reason that I
somebody
ask you
came along
this,
to me and said, "I'll pay 12, but get you $1 million more for your house," I'm sorry. It's really, there is a standard in the industry, but it's the professionalism and bringing me the best price for my home. That's what's critical to a seller.
yeah,
And if I
and the
were thinking
reason
about it,
that I asked you that is because when it's statistically proven that when a seller tries to sell on their own, they'll usually get 12 to 15% less than market value. Right? So if me as a realtor, if I'm able to provide somebody the proper service and get the market value for their home, then they only paid 6%.
Yeah.
So you're winning. You're actually saving money, And why is that? Why is it that we can get close to market value? Well, it's easy. First of all, we have access to qualified buyers. We have access to amazing agents out on the through our networks.
Yep.
And then the other part is
The MLS.
The MLS, and here's the thing: results come from the internet. Okay, and a lot of people don't realize this. 43% come from the internet. 43% of buyers come from the internet. Like buyers that went all the way through closing, 43% from the internet. 9% come from a yard sign. Like,
That's
let's weigh the
ridiculous.
options
Yeah.
here, right? You're selling your home on your own. You just close your bubble's little.
Yeah.
You've closed the gap on how
limiting
many
your
people.
resources.
Yeah, 1% from a newspaper. People ask me, David, why don't you advertise in the Herald or something like that? 1% of buyers come from the newspaper, right? Where's the return on investment there for my seller? It doesn't make sense.
I think the worst thing, the seller's remorse that I would have if I were selling my home right now is selling it on my own and hearing that I got 15% less than I should have.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, I think that's such a valuable piece of it all, is having professionals that can evaluate my home and my clients' homes and tell me this is a fair price, this is reasonable, that has the expertise. It's not just in one home. Like, obviously I don't walk around my neighborhood and ask to enter each of my neighbors' homes and compare what they have to
What
mine.
they have.
So really, we're not prepared. The consumer is not prepared to value their own homes.
You're absolutely right, and I think that exposure is a really big thing. When you're using a real estate professional, exposure is a really big thing. And I was reading that studies have shown that 92% of buyers come search online for a home, in comparison to 28% looking through local papers, right? So it's like, do you want the buyer pool, right? There's a buyer pool out there for your house, Mr. Seller and Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Do you want 92% of the buyer pool looking at your home, or do you want 28% of that buyer pool looking for your home? And then add that to the fact that real estate professionals have a good network of realtors. I know I do.
Yeah.
Right. Our team does.
Yeah.
We've made friends along the way. We've networked with many agents. We've worked with many agents. And so it allows us the opportunity to list a home in a neighborhood and know who are the agents in that neighborhood that may have potential buyers, and allows us to call those guys and say, hey, listen, I got this great home for sale. What do you think? You got anybody for this one? You can't do that as a for sale by owner.
No, and I think there's a misconception. I mean, the reason why the for sale by owner is getting so little for the property is because there's a misconception to what they believe their property is worth, whether it is because they paid very little at the beginning and they're okay, getting a certain amount, or they believe that the market is similar to what it was a couple of years ago, or my friend sold their home, or my neighbor sold their home 3 years ago for this much, my home should sell for this much. There's a big misconception. You guys don't know, as sellers, you really don't know where you are. Without using the resources that we have. It takes us a couple of minutes or hours to look through this and actually, come up with with a number or a value for your home. It's not a science, but it takes time, and it's not that easy.
All right, Gabe, we're going to let you go now because we are coming close to the close of our show. I really appreciate having you on the show, Gabe. For anyone who would like to get in touch with Mr. Gabriel Bodner, who is an attorney who owns Miami Title Group and Nautilus Legal Services, he can be reached at 305-514-0600 or toll free at 800-999-1953. Moving forward, we're going to talk. Alex, you got a little bit of news about LeBron James's house, huh?
A little bit, yeah. Actually, LeBron finally had got his home sold after having it on the market for so long. Luckily for him, he sold it for $13.4 million, but he had originally listed it for $17 over a year ago, which wasn't exact. So he didn't get exactly what he wanted, but the house was properly sold at the correct price.
I think he underestimated how mad Miami was at him.
I think I don't know. I wonder if that had something to do with.
I think people didn't want to touch the house. They wanted to get a little stale, get the
Bad
LeBron
luck,
stink
right?
out of there.
Bad luck, right?
Can't believe this guy.
I
Trying
honestly,
to leave Miami all the way, selling his home.
I really believe that it was the area more so that was the reason for why they had to lower the price. The Grove is beautiful, it's amazing, but it's not Indian Creek. It's not those certain areas that call for that type of price point. But it finally did sell.
Sold for like, what was it, like 12 million?
No,
13.4, yeah.
13.4.
13.4, so that's that.
And I heard the Related Group picked up a Biscayne Boulevard site.
Yeah, the Related Group picked up Biscayne Boulevard site for $57.3 million.
Wow.
I said that correctly. $57.3 million.
Long and behold, that the attorney that was just on the phone right now, his office is located in that building.
Not for long. Not for long. Not for
He
long.
had already had plans to move into a bigger office.
Yes, he has plans. He's already building out his gorgeous new office. But yes, coincidentally, you're absolutely right. That happens to be the building that he was in.
According to Related, what they released, they intend to build a mixed-use project with three towers totaling nearly 2 million square feet of high-end residential and also retail space. So maybe Gabe will still be there in the retail side.
He's out of there.
All right.
Yeah, but it's close to the Arts Center. A lot of other areas close to the Expressway too. So it's going to be an interesting project.
Yeah. In other celebrity news, The Rock actually just had sold and then
Mr.
bought
Dwayne Johnson.
Mr. Dwayne Johnson, I love.
I love Dwayne.
Yeah.
He's
There's
awesome.
some Ballers fans out there, man. I'm obsessed with that show. Yeah, but he had just bought a $4.5 million Broward County house. It's going to be a 13,700 square foot mansion in Landmark Ranch Estates neighborhood of Southwest Ranches.
Yep.
Yeah, and what I think is the coolest part of this house, which is he added on his own personal gym, and anyone who knows who Dwayne Johnson is knows the guy is jacked.
Kind of
right?
little. He's little.
He's a really small guy. No, he's huge. He's Hercules. So, and he added on.
He's Hercules.
He's Hercules. So he added on a personal gym of 4,000 square feet gym for an additional $300,000 in the cost.
Wow.
400,000 square foot gym. That's bigger than
4,000.
No, 4,000. Did I say 400?
Yeah.
4,000. So it's bigger than most people's homes, and that's $1, $2, $3 million homes are in the 4,000s.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring our show to a close, and I appreciate everyone listening to us today. You guys have been fantastic. I think we had a fantastic show today. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, right? Listen, visit us at thecurzteam.com. Make sure you visit us. Search for homes on thecurzteam.com. Buy your home with the Kurz team. Sell your home with the Kurz team. It's what we do best. It's what we do every day. The only reason we're on the radio is to get you wonderful and amazing information because we can't get to all of you one by one, and we want all of you to listen up. Visit our charities. Of course, there's always the Children's Cancer Caring Center, as well as the Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. We love our veterans, and we help as much as possible. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day. And thank you again for listening. You can reach us 786-529-5273.
You have been listening to the Kurz Team Real Estate Show. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to visit us at www.thecurzteam.com or call us at 786-529-5273 for more information. Tune in next week as we cover some more real estate ground here in South Florida.